Let's say you hear a lot of people, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to start a new business. Oh, that's a dream from many, many people. But is it really a dream? Is it really as beautiful and colorful as it looks like? Well, I have here today Dr. Gigi Burke that's going to talk about this. She's a career coach and she's going to talk about the struggles and the feelings that we have to face when we are as business owners beginning. Hello and welcome to my show, Gigi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, thank you. So let's begin. Let's deep dive in it. Is it really a dream come true? Or when we land there, we realize it's not that easy. The freedom of working anytime you want, you have to work three times harder.
That is a great question. And I would say this depends on how you approach it. So, yes, it can be the dream fulfilled, but it's probably not going to start out that way. And what I'm seeing more and more is that, it gets fantasized. Being an entrepreneur, it's very much fantasized in our social media, in the stories that we hear on TV and on the radio. And what you're seeing and what you're hearing are the people who have already arrived. They've already achieved their goals. But probably what you don't hear enough about is that this is a journey, one that has its ups and its downs and its twists and its turns. But often we're not really prepared for that. So that is really where I come in, is helping you to be able to navigate the roller coaster of feelings and thoughts that you are going to experience in your journey to thriving in your business.
Oh, the feelings are really amazing. But roller coaster is the perfect word to describe it. And what about the hours? You begin thinking, okay, I'm going to work 25 hours a week and that's going to be awesome. But you end up working almost 60 or so because you were always working and thinking, what can I do better? And then you have an idea when you are with your family and you are really in the gray zone all the time.
Yes, that is so true. So this is one of the transitions, and this is a tough one for a lot of the people to make. When you are a professional and you're working for someone else, you actually have someone who can dictate time to you. Although a lot of us become entrepreneurs and business owners because we want to be more in control of our time. But the irony is, this is a struggle that a lot of us will encounter in our businesses because we no longer have that structure that says, from this time to this time, this is what we're going to be doing. It is really up to you as the business owner to create that structure. And so the 25-hour work week, again, that's a dream, and it does happen. And I do know people who work like that, but what I also know is they did not start out that way. That is something that you really have to work towards. So there is that book, and I don't know the author's name, but it's called The 4-Hour Work Week. So again, and I have to put the caveat out there because I've not read it, but just that title alone, I could see why that would be appealing to people. Oh, I only have to work 4 hours a week. And so when you hear those stories, like I work 4 hours a week and I'm making hundreds of thousands, or I'm making 7 and 8 figures, and I just work 4 hours a week. Well, not initially, no. So can you get there? Yeah, but is it going to take work and structure and figuring out what works and what doesn't work? And when it comes to our time, also improving, we've got to radically change our relationship with time, because that's one of the key things that I see. And even with myself, I struggled with that too, because you have to be accountable to you. You're not going to have a boss to say, hey, how are you spending your time? No, you have
No.
to be accountable to you. And if you've got people working for you, you also have to have accountability there too, or you've got a partner, however your business is structured. So more of that falls on you. And I have seen just about every single business owner I know struggle with time, especially for women when they have families. And they're trying to be, a great parent and a great wife and a great sister and a great community member, but they're already crunched for time. So your relationship with time will need to dramatically change if you really are going to thrive as a business owner. But what it does is it makes a lot of us, especially us women, it makes a lot of us feel guilty. And then that leads to being stressed out and overwhelmed as business owners, and that interferes with us being able to have the businesses that we really want. So again, that roller coaster of emotions, you'll feel great one minute and in another minute you'll feel down, and time is one of the things that can do that.
And yeah, especially as a solopreneur, you have to wear so many hats, and you have to change your mindset from, okay, what do I have? What's my task? To, oh my God, I have so many things to do. Where do I even start? Today it's got only 24 hours, isn't it?
Well, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because that is, that shift in relationship that you talk about, that's one of the things that has to shift, is just how we're approaching that. When we say things like, oh my God, I only have 24 hours in a day. Well, there is this great book. And when I read this book, this really changed how I related to time. But it's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, Dr. Gay Hendricks. And he talks about this concept of Einstein time. And I would encourage you to read that. If you read nothing else in that book, read that chapter on Einstein time, because that really shifted how I showed up and how I deal with time. But the issue is we are a victim to time when we say things like, oh my God, I only have 24 hours in a day, or there are only 7 days in a week. No. And I don't want to spoil it. But I would encourage people to read it, because when I read this, what I realized is, whoa, I have to change how I am relating to time. And I'm still a work in progress on this. But once I realized, oh, shoot, wait a minute, I've been approaching time all wrong. And how I was relating to it all wrong.
You've got my attention. You really
I've been doing it all wrong. I have been doing it all wrong. And so there's, of course, there's no shortage of tools. There's no shortage of classes and techniques and books and things, but they all seem to be coming from looking at time as scarcity, kind of that scarcity mentality towards time. This is a different approach to it, and one that when you read it, it is remarkably simple, that you're going to be like, oh, shoot, really?
Time is really relative, because when I'm working, I'm really enjoying myself. I'm having such a good time to be alone here in my computer, scripting or recording or making a research or thinking about the next marketing strategy. And when I see my boyfriend is calling me, come here to take a tea with me, and I say, oh, we just had coffee. No, hours later, I'm still here.
Well, I will tell you what you said, that right there, because you are fully in the zone, and people call it different things. But when you say, wait a minute, you're doing something that you enjoy. And because you do that, you are fully showing
in
up
my flow state.
No, you're in flow, you're fully inhabiting the state. Whereas, when we're doing things that we don't want to do, we kind of instinctively kind of crunch in, we start watching the clock, we start looking for any distraction that we can find, because look, we don't really want to do it in the first place.
No, it's the opposite. I sit here, in the blink of an eye, I look outside and it's dark.
When you're enjoying it and when you're in flow, what they call flow, yeah. But when you're not in flow, ooh, if you see, oh, wait a minute, you'll find any excuse to get out of what you don't want to do. And as business owners, to be honest, as business owners, like, there are parts of the business that I'm not too crazy about, but I know that those are just as important in order to thrive and to really thrive as a business owner. It's important to really address those parts. So changing how you relate to time will make it better. And then it allows you to say, okay, what are the things that I really need to do? And what are the things that I really want to do? And then when you take it from that standpoint, it is much easier to decide how you get to spend your day. instead of you feeling like, oh my God, I only have this, I only have this, I have to do this. No, 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 no. You shift all that. And it's a work in progress because we're not taught this. We're not taught. We're taught to be on the clock, and we're taught to watch a clock, and we're, oh my God, if it has to start at 9 o'clock. No, it starts when you get there. I know that's a controversial one there, but we have so many constrictions on how we should be spending time. Yeah, but I would encourage you all to read that chapter in it's called Einstein Time, because it really will make you rethink how you're approaching time. And you're like, oh shoot,